Australia is a land of extremes, vast deserts, dangerous wildlife, raging bushfires, and modern bustling cities. In moments of danger, Australians dial 0000, the country's main emergency number for police, fire, and ambulance services. Every year, millions of calls come through. Many are routine, but some capture extraordinary moments of courage, tragedy, and survival. Today, we will revisit 10 real emergency calls in Australia that reveal the human side of crisis, the voices of people at the edge of life and death, and the calm responders guiding them through chaos. Story 1. The Black Saturday Bushfires, 2009. On February 7, 2009, Victoria experienced the worst bushfires in Australian history. Whole towns were wiped out. Emergency services received thousands of calls within hours. One caller whispered into the phone, "The fire is at our door. We can't see anything. What do we do?" The dispatcher instructed the family to stay low, cover themselves with wet blankets, and move to the safest part of the house. Although 173 people tragically died that day, many survived thanks to life-saving instructions given over the phone during those desperate moments. Story 2. Thredbo Landslide, 1997. In July 1997, a landslide buried 2 ski lodges in Thredbo, New South Wales. Amid the wreckage, a man named Stuart Diver was trapped under debris, but alive. For hours, he tried to reach rescuers. When contact was finally made, his faint call for help guided emergency crews. Through radio and emergency channels, operators relayed his exact words to rescuers. "I'm here. Please don't leave me." After 65 hours underground, Diver was pulled out, the sole survivor. His calls remain one of Australia's most remarkable rescue stories. Story 3. Port Arthur Massacre, 1996. On April 28, 1996, a gunman opened fire at the historic site of Port Arthur in Tasmania. Emergency operators received panicked calls from the tourists and staff. One caller whispered, "He's still shooting. People are down everywhere." Dispatchers instructed survivors to stay hidden and silent until police arrived. The massacre killed 35 people and shocked the nation, but those emergency calls played a key role in police response. They also became part of the discussion that led to Australia's strict gun laws today. Story 4. Cyclone Tracy in Darwin, 1974. On Christmas Eve 1974, Cyclone Tracy tore through Darwin, destroying most of the city. Emergency lines were overwhelmed with calls from families trapped in collapsing houses. One operator later recalled hearing the terror in a caller's voice as he shouted over the storm, "The roof is gone. What do we do?" The storm killed 71 people and left tens of thousands homeless. Though technology then was limited, the calls that were recorded paint a vivid picture of the disaster. Story 5. Child saves mother in Sydney. In Sydney, a 6-year-old boy dialed 0000 when his mother collapsed from a medical emergency. With incredible bravery, he told the dispatcher, "Mom won't wake up. Please help." The operator guided him step by step to check her breathing and unlock the door for paramedics. By the time the ambulance arrived, the child had done everything right. His mother survived, and the boy was later praised as a hero on national television. Story 6. The Lindt Cafe Siege, Sydney, 2014. In December 2014, a gunman took hostages in the Lindt Cafe at Martin Place in Sydney. Throughout the 16-hour siege, terrified hostages made covert calls to 000, whispering updates, "We're being held, he has a weapon." Dispatchers relayed critical information to police outside. The tragedy ended with the deaths of 2 hostages, but the emergency calls gave authorities real-time insight into what was happening inside. They remain a haunting record of courage under extreme pressure. Story 7. Shark Attack Emergency. In Queensland, Australia's beaches are both beautiful and dangerous. In one dramatic case, a surfer attacked by a shark in Queensland managed to call 0000 from the beach. His voice was weak. "I've been bitten. I'm losing blood." The dispatcher guided nearby beachgoers to apply pressure to his wound while paramedics rushed to the scene. That call, calm but urgent, saved his life. It showed how even in the most shocking moments, getting help quickly can make the difference between survival and tragedy. Story 8. The Canberra Bushfires, 2003. In January 2003, bushfires swept into Canberra, destroying hundreds of homes. One woman called in tears, "The fire is at my window. I don't know what to do." The dispatcher told her to move into a bathroom with water and stay low. She and her family survived as flames tore through the house around them. These calls later became crucial in reviewing Australia's bushfire response strategies, highlighting the role of clear, calm guidance during chaos. Story 9. Melbourne Bourke Street Attack, 2017. In January 2017, a man drove a car into pedestrians on Bourke Street in Melbourne, killing 6 and injuring dozens. The first emergency calls came from witnesses. "He's running people over. There are bodies on the street." Dispatchers immediately sent police and ambulances, minimizing further casualties. Those calls captured the panic of a city street turned into a nightmare in seconds, and how quickly ordinary people react by dialing 0000. Story 10. Rescue in the Outback. The Australian outback is vast and unforgiving. In one case, a group of travelers became stranded after their vehicle broke down hundreds of kilometers from the nearest town. Dehydrated and disoriented, one managed to get a faint signal and called 0000. The operator, realizing their danger, told them, "Stay with your vehicle. Do not walk into the desert." That advice saved their lives. Rescuers reached them by helicopter the next morning, guided by GPS from the emergency call. From raging bushfires to sudden attacks, from storms to medical crises, these 10 real emergency calls in Australia reveal the power of one phone call. On one end, panic, fear, sometimes whispered words of desperation. On the other, calm, steady voices of professionals, giving instructions that save lives. In Australia, 000 is more than just a number. It is a lifeline, a reminder that in the harshest conditions, in the darkest moments, help is only a call away.